Are we live?
That was pretty quick.
It skipped the intro.
Yeah.
Wow.
The information shared on the Slipstream Gift are from personal accounts and experiences, which are intended to help create discussions on the possibilities and perspectives of energetic potentials. Any communications, considerations, or recommendations are not a substitute for medical, psychological, or licensed professional help in wellness or recovery. Please seek a qualified practitioner regarding specific needs or concerns. We thank you and hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Slipstream Gift, a place of energetic healing potentials waiting to be explored. Hosts Todd Wilcox and Brandon Wainwright will take you on a deep dive of discussion into energetic modalities, self-healing, consciousness expansion, spiritual peace, and overall positive encouragement, while traversing life's spiraling universal questions. Each episode provides a sacred space to share ideas as well as experience interactive energy healing sessions, all guided live with heart. Now here are your hosts, Todd Wilcox and Brandon Wainwright.
Hello and welcome to the Slipstream Gift on the Sacred Spiral Network. We are your hosts, Brandon Wainwright and Todd Wilcox, for our bi-weekly show. Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we're glad to be here. How you doing there, Todd?
I am doing great. How are you, Brandon?
I'm doing well. Carrying on, one day at a time, baby.
Absolutely. Were you going to talk about your Course of Miracles this week, or?
I hadn't really planned on it. You know,
That's fine.
I continue to study it, but there's nothing that's like jumping out at me or I feel like I need to be talking about it right now. So
yeah.
You said you had a meditation?
Yeah. Anytime we're getting ready for one of these podcasts, I do a meditation and send my energy out to everybody that may need it, may need what we're doing, that would have an interest. And as I was doing that tonight, I've got this absolutely beautiful, wonderful energy that meets with me from time to time. I don't think it's a spirit guide. I think it's more of somebody from maybe my spirit group, kind of like an older peer type thing, a little more evolved than I am, but a friend, not necessarily a guide. And what was funny this time was, in addition to that beautiful energy that I get to feel, there was a smell that came with it. Now, it's fairly uncommon, I think, for most people to have any kind of an olfactory response during meditation, but it's even more so for me. I've broken my nose, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. I lost count, and it was never set by a doctor. It was always a coach or someone in my platoon. And we set it ourselves, shoved some stuff in there to keep it in place and carried on. And then I guess it's been about 20 years ago now, I went into an ear, nose, and throat guy, and he looked in there and says, "Oh, buddy, it may look okay on the outside, but it is not okay on the inside." And he went through and cleaned everything up. And for about 2 weeks, I could breathe completely through my nose. It was amazing. But and now that's changed. I think it's collapsing a little bit inside. But from that time on, I lost a lot of my ability to smell things. I absolutely love perfume. There's like two.
So the doctor
types of-
said the doctor correcting it actually ultimately made it worse.
Yeah, he damaged something in there when he was working on it, and I
Uh,
lost most of my sense of good smell. I can still smell horrible things. If a dog leaves a present, I can smell that. If there's something rotten in the refrigerator, I can smell that. Those kind of things, no problem. But perfume, things like that are nice. No,
the
I
things
don't.
that
I
you
don't
want to
smell
smell.
most of those. Yeah, and that was what was coming through during this meditation was just a beautiful. It wasn't perfume. Uh, it might have been like a body scent pheromone, something like that, but it was absolutely beautiful, relaxing, wonderful smell. And I was just curious, if our listeners or you, when you're meditating, if smell is part of what you perceive while you're doing it.
I personally, oh, by the way, we've had a couple hellos on there. Hey, Kelly, thanks for being here and monitoring our show for us.
Yes, hi.
That's our engineer and producer, Kelly Brickle. Zoe Hickman saying hello, and Kels Garrick from New Zealand reaching out and saying hello. So thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate it. As far, not I haven't had that many olfactory what would you call that, Claire Smellians. I can't remember what the word is for that. But I did have a really poignant thing happen one time that just really sticks out in my mind. I was walking, this is back when we were in California, and I was walking through our room, and clairsentience. No, clairsentience is just where you feel. Although I like it's like it has a scent. Yeah, should SCENTIENCS I guess that's what it would be, right? But anyway, I'm walking through our bedroom, and my wife had a candle burning in there, but as I walked through the room, I smelled cigarette smoke. And we didn't smoke, and so it was like, okay, is it, I thought maybe it was from the candle, maybe she had just lit it or something. I was smelling the sulfur from the matches or something, and it just, I associated it with cigarettes in my head or something was what. So I asked her, what did you just light this thing? And she said, no, it's been going for an hour. And it was it was a scented candle. I can't remember what the scent was, but it wasn't an unpleasant one. Certainly wasn't cigarette smoke scented. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. Well, that night while I was sleeping, I was awakened to somebody blowing cigarette smoke in my face. I mean, it was like, the smell of cigarette smoke was just blown into my face, and it wasn't, nobody was there. It was a spirit of some kind, and I determined with some help from some intuitives that, or one intuitive in particular, it was my grandfather, and because he was a big smoker, and he was actually he had a stroke at a relatively early age that paralyzed his entire right side of his body, and he still stubbornly smoked for the rest of his life. He actually he died with a cigarette in his hand. So, which is funny. And in fact, he had a portrait taken of him where he's standing there holding the cigarette in his fingers, and he's got this look like this. Like this shit-eating grin, but like, yeah, you're not gonna stop me from smoking. So at first I thought his message was, because why, I figure, why is Papa Ed blowing smoke in my face? And he had a good sense of humor, and he lived kind of a wild life. He did some things in his lifetime that weren't all that great, but he definitely had a personality. And I thought, well, it's him telling me to remember to have a sense of humor, right?
There you
And
go.
but the more I thought about it, and then with the help of the intuitives, now what he was saying was stick to your guns. and at the time I didn't really realize I had so much support from everybody that was close to me as far as my spiritual path was concerned. That was pretty early on. It was right after I finished the book. Hadn't even been published yet. And I thought, stick to my guns, huh? And it was the other things that I thought maybe I was supposed to stick to my guns on. Maybe he was referring to other things, but ultimately, I mean, as hard as it has been to maintain through everything, that was actually well said advice. So all
Good.
stemming from some smelling something from the spirit world.
Yeah.
So,
And they get to us how they get to us.
yeah.
Through, most of them would be wasting their time to send me smells, but for some reason this one came through. And I often wonder, even though my nose is messed up and I don't register smelling things, I wonder if at some level I am, some kind of spiritual level.
Oh yeah,
that
I'm
that I'm
sure.
picking up scents from people, and that I haven't lost it that way. Just my nose isn't picking it up, but the rest of me is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reality is we aren't our physical bodies,
Yeah.
and the higher parts of ourselves still perceive and things that we aren't necessarily consciously aware of. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's interesting. Huh.
so
I'm just
it's
looking.
like talking about like people that lose a limb or something like that, and they can still feel it. Well, energetically, their etheric body is still there,
Yeah.
and so Lynn Juno says that she used to get that signed cigarette smoke from her dad. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think I've heard that from a lot of other people too. To be honest, was the cigarette thing because that is so, especially with the recent previous generations. Everybody
Oh,
smoked, and some more than others. So it makes
so
sense.
yeah, there was so much of it. And growing up, my mom was a heavy smoker, and we never noticed it. She smoked in the house, she smoked in the car. You don't notice it
No, when
when
you're
you're
around it all
there
the
all the
time.
time. But I do remember receiving a big box from her one Christmas, and the second we opened it up, everybody's like, "Whoa!" Um, but I'd honestly, never noticed it before that moment that there was that smell, and
Yeah.
it was on everything. It was wild. So yeah, the cigarettes definitely were a huge part of life when I was a kid.
Yeah, same. Then actually that makes me want to just make a comment on I'm sure people here if you're in our age group or maybe even close to our age group, you could relate to the smell of the interior of a Volkswagen Bug. If I, if my mom had a 1974 Beetle and it had a very distinctive smell on the inside of it. And that mixed with cigarette smoke, I hated it. And like you, I didn't. It was just part of my environment. I didn't really think about it that much, but I didn't like it. I can remember not liking it, but just rolling with it because it was just part of my life. But to this day, man, that and the smell of cigarettes in like a GM car, like the seats and stuff in there. Like one of my best friends growing up, his grandma had a I think it was a Chevy station wagon, and she smoked like a chimney. He was raised by his grandma. We went places. I went places with them all the time. Oh God, that smell. But yep, that was then. I'm glad it's not that way now. In
That's
general.
true. And I
Uh,
wonder, my lungs aren't the best, and I'm guessing it's from all the secondhand that I was around as a kid. Over the last 4 weeks, I've been in California, Dallas, Utah, and Portland, and all kinds of different sea levels. And it really affects me when I change levels. I think that's why I'm coughing so much tonight. I just got back a couple of days ago from
mm-mm.
Utah, and I just gotten used to that altitude when I came back to Portland. Um,
So
I won't be coughing up too much tonight and won't break us out of our stride.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one area, at least in the United States, where things have improved. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, we're doing something right.
Yeah. So, just to comment, there was a lady that came on the show last time, and her name's Jenny, and we did a healing for her, and she reached out to me off the air, via the Tyson's Gift website. You can email me there, and you can email Todd also at slipstreamgift.com.
Slipstream Shaman.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Slipstreamshaman.com. And so, but anyway, she wanted to reach out and just let us know the impact that the healing had on her. And she said that just a couple different things that happened. She felt, she had felt a feeling of weightlessness that kept intermittently occurring over the next day or two after it happened. And then also she's going through a lot of trauma, and she had not been able to sleep for a long time. The night after the session, she slept 7 hours. The night after that, she slept 9 hours. She said she hadn't done that in years. So the work that we're doing here is, having a really positive impact on people. And so
it's great.
It's good stuff.
Feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really so
helps.
it was.
We talked about it last time. Most of the time we don't get that feedback. Great things are happening and we don't always hear about it. And people forget that we help them with something. I can't tell you how many times I've done this work for people, never hear a word about it. And I'll say, hey, how's your dog? How's your son? And they'll go, oh, doing great. Yeah. Just ball of fire, going great. Not even remembering that we did the work. So it's one of those things where, when I talk about not being able to remember what we do in those sessions without looking at notes, when I read the notes, I do remember, but to access it without the notes, I can't. And I think that spills on to the people that we work with many times too, is that they lose track that it happened because they're, our brains just aren't set up for this kind of work. And so
Well, culturally, it's even if they give it credit and enough to where they're willing to participate. And I think a lot of people, I have people like that too, that I've done quite a bit of healing work for, and had profound results in some cases. And they still, when something comes up, I find out, weeks later, oh, I've been dealing with this, whatever. And I'm like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you ask? This is what I do. Why would you not ask? So it's still, I think that what it comes down to is they think it's possible. They're open to it, but they're not convinced. It hasn't gotten through their subconscious yet to the point where it's a part of their day-to-day existence. And so, that's okay. It is what it is. It's a process. We as a culture and as a species are evolving.
Yeah.
So.
And you and I understand that we may not get any recognition or credit or anything like that for it, but we know it happened and we just have to be happy with it.
That's my thing. The longer I've done this, I have to be honest. Yeah. Full disclosure. There was a point when I first started, it actually kind of went on for a while. I mean, where I was discovering these gifts, and it was like, oh, wow, I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to have a business, and I'm going to, potentially become somebody people know, and I'm going to write this book, and a lot of ego driven stuff. Right. And it wasn't that I was not, like, the helping people was really important to me, and it was what was driving me. But I still, that was a big part of it, and wanting to have it, be my livelihood and basically play a role in my life that was very 3D, for lack of a better word. And there's nothing wrong with making a living doing this. I mean, if you're good at it and you're helping people, what's wrong with that? But, it's also, for most people, it's very, very difficult to make a living doing this kind of work. Just the amount of money that you don't have like regular one client after another, most people. And even if you did, making enough money to do it is difficult. But that's not why I do it anyway. The satisfaction comes from just the knowing that you made a contribution, that somebody is benefiting, that you're working with the universe. You're working with the higher frequencies of the universe and being on the positive side of the light, and so I think I can say the same for you.
Yeah. And for years, you've heard my story. For years, I was trying to find my purpose. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? And I thought when I found that purpose, that everything would be just clear, right? I would have this just straight line to success. And when I found my purpose, there was a lot of clarity, but there was still a lot of work involved, and my understanding of my purpose has evolved. When I first received my purpose, it was just to help, 2 words, to help. And recently it's evolved into to help others. And the word changes, the last word changes, to help people learn or to help people remember. And the remember is kind of taking over for the learn. So I think my purpose is becoming more and more clear, and it's to help people remember. We know a lot of this stuff. We know most of this stuff. We've been in this stuff. Finding it again, remembering it, is what we're facilitating, I believe.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of with my energy work. And that was when I really thought about, why am I doing this work? I mean, really, the healing is really important. Obviously, the satisfaction of knowing that you help somebody, them being relieved of whatever symptoms they have. But I realized that more than that, I was wanting to show people, teach people, like you said, remind people that there is more, that spirit is really powerful, and then that there's so much more to our whole existence than just this physical world we live in. We do live on, we are eternal. There's all this beyond these physical bodies. We are not these physical bodies. You're not a body, with a soul. You're a soul that just happens to be inside a body. So, and that ultimately is what's driven me to do this, is to expand people's awareness and my own, interesting. Primrose, who is Napoleon on our commentary, she says, the science is catching up. I'm watching an Immune for Life docuseries on Zonia, and doctors have confirmed that our unresolved trauma slips into our energy bodies, chakras, which manifest into cancer, and our physical bodies resolve the trauma and the cancer is cured. Absolutely. Yeah, we do hold trauma, and we hold it in our subconscious too. So, and that's all energy. So there's a modality that I'm studying and actually receiving right now called holographic memory resolution that addresses this very thing, trauma that's in your subconscious. And it involves color, which is frequency and energy. And that color provides a great deal of healing in the process of, as you go through the sessions and the meditations that you do. And it's remarkable I'm studying it, and some of the cases, it's like immediate relief, from like where there's decades of serious physical damage that probably, it's obviously not physical because it gets alleviated immediately, but the symptoms are physical, where it's 30 years, 40 years of the same thing, and then all of a sudden it's just gone, and it doesn't return. Things like this happening. So
Love it.
very cool. Okay, so We managed to chew up some time. um,
Right on schedule.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and do a session for the whole group like we did
Yeah, let's do
last
that.
time?
Yeah, I love that. I think it really helps us build rapport, get our energies all in sync. And, I think it's good for us.
A labyrinthian criterion says she's open to a healing too. So,
Okay.
yeah. So after we do this one, you can first on the list. So I guess energetically, if everybody could just, set the intention to join in on this with the highest good intended, and just be open to what comes in for you and for the group. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, just the things that both Brandon and I see as we do it, and I'll describe it during it. Brandon will afterwards. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. So just get relaxed. If you've been practicing and you can find your energy, or if you have another way to go inside, to go to that place of energy and spirit, go ahead and do it. I do it by finding my energy in my palms. This is unusual. My energy is usually very cool. Today I've got some warm energy. I'm not sure what that's all about. It was cool an hour ago. And immediately see the earth. I see it from a distance, but I also see it as I'm standing on it. It's a really weird, I don't know how to describe it any better than that. I can see it from a distance and standing right here. And I can feel everybody's energy. There's a lot of crisscrossing energy. I love that we have people all around the world on with us tonight. That is just fascinating to me. So normally my quantum room is in deep space. Right now it's in a great big, I'll call it a hangar. It's like I love Quonset huts, the oval shaped structures that the military has used for years, or it's used in a lot of things, but it's kind of famous for military bases. It feels like it's a great big Quonset hut, and everybody on this call their energy is with me there. We're walking around it. It's just a big empty space. The great big door is open, and we can see mountains and sunshine outside of it. And now we all just walk outside into the sunshine together. We're huddled in a group, standing tall, feeling our own energy as well as everybody else's, sharing energy with each other. And our energy knows just what somebody else might need, and we're assisting. It's amazing. I can feel the warmth of the sun. I'm warming up from it. And now I'm seeing energy crackling around us, like stable lightning. Not the quick spark that happens with lightning, but it looks like the energy from lightning, but it's in place. It's barely changing shape so we can all see it. And that is grounding to the earth and grounding to us, and transferring grounded healing energy to all of us, and allowing our tired worn out energy to leave and go back to the universe to be recharged again. We're all just luxuriating in that. It's wonderful. My shoulders just released, and all the tension that I was holding went down into the earth. Ooh, I feel weightless, just like the person you were talking about, Brandon. All right, and I am back whenever Brandon's ready.
All right. Well, first thing I saw was a beach ball. Usually take that to just mean, slow down, take it easy, have a little fun, to try to lighten up. For me, I don't have a quantum room like you do, but I picture I've got a couple different places that I go to, but one of them is over a particular bay in the tropics, and it's all like a glass platform that I'm standing on. Hanalei Bay, that's mine. And this particular, when it started, it was like really kind of gray and overcast, really windy. I could see the palm trees like blowing all over the place. But it didn't feel negative. It was just a lot of turbulent energy is what it felt like. And then pretty quickly, and it kind of coincided, I think, with kind of what you were describing, but things cleared up, and before I knew it, there was a really pretty pink sunlight shining through, kind of like the sunset time. It was really beautiful and really peaceful, and then when I looking down, the water was like a purple and indigo, just like really brilliant, beautiful water. That was the light that was shining on it was creating this effect. And just kind of went with that. And at the end, just the brilliant light of the Holy Spirit just kind of encapsulated everything, turned it all bright light, bright white light. And that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So
Brenda saw some purplish color also, so
going through, yeah. So maybe that had something to do with it. Awesome. Well, hopefully everybody got something out of that. If you felt any crazy sensations or you're noticing anything, feel free to add it to the notes. And we were gonna next person we were gonna go to was Labyrinthian, I think. Criterion. Open to a healing, she said.
I'm sorry, had a little interference. What did you say?
Labyrinthian Criterion was the next person.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wait, something. Hold on just a sec. There was Kells said, I need this. Been at work 3 years, got passed down the steers form of just feeling really lost. Okay. Do you want to maybe go to her next after Labyrinthian?
Okay.
The Kells, you'll be the next on the list. JD, thanks for being here.
Inviting Labyrinthian into the quantum room. And because it's such a tongue twister, I'm going to call you LC for this. LC's in. And I did read your note about your neck and back. And instantly, when I read that note about your neck and back, my neck and back tightened up. And what I'm feeling on me, if you can picture an old school kite with the cross center, it's not symmetrical. It's longer on the bottom. If you start right at the base of my skull, out to my shoulders, and then down about halfway on my spine, that's where I really felt things, almost like red on the neck and back part, and then a little bit less intense going out to part of the shoulders. And Desi just pulled something that kind of looked like that, kind of looked like a cross, kind of looked, it's red and hot, like a blacksmith would make. If a blacksmith was making some kind of a cross shape, it was still red and hot, kind of like that. Pulled it off of you. And we're going to put it down on the ground, give it cleansing energy. And as we do, it's cooling off. And as we give it the love energy to heal it, it turned into a light blue color and then dissolved back into the ground for that energy to be used for its positive intent again. And we're doing some healing on your neck and back right now, cleaning it. And part of my warrior team, I have dogs. It's mostly animals. There's a few humans. There's some fictional characters that come in to help too. But the animals, there's some horses that have passed that my dad used to have that help sometimes, and they're licking your back and neck, Elsie, and so is the giraffe that works with me. They're very focused on that. And now they backed away and gave us room to just really put the healing love energy into that spot. So Desi just found something that was invisible. It was just energy before she got a hold of it. And if you picture standing up straight, Elsie, with your arms out a little bit, like if you've ever seen the Lincoln Memorial, the way Lincoln's arms are, your arms are out a little bit like that, and you're holding two, like kind of like canes, kind of like a pole with a round top, like a flagpole shape, a round top and then a pole. Your hands are sitting on top of those, or were. We took them away from you, and when we did, your arms went down to your side, relaxed. You took a nice deep breath and let it out, and my back, watching you, my back released and relaxed when I saw you do that. And so we're going to give those poles some healing energy. Love energy. So normally the energy changes its appearance for me. This did not. Well, they did. They went from looking like kind of like a condensed flagpole to a bigger pole that could send out energy and looked like it was full of energy. And then it grounded itself. The energy went through it back to the universe, and those two poles sunk down into the ground. So your energy felt like it was off center because of holding those things, and the centering should clear up. And that's all we've got there. I'm going to have the love team surround you and just fill you with love, healing love. Transferring any tired energy into the ground through being grounded. and bringing fresh, strong energy up. All right. And I'm back, Brandon.
Yeah, tonight for me, for some reason, the energy is really mild. I mean, it's there, but it's not flowing super strong or anything. It's just, I don't know, energetically, if you're feeling what you're feeling, but, I mean, it's there. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely there. It's just not, not going on hyperdrive. Are you picking up like anything?
So the energy that I'm feeling was a release of energy more than anything else. Release of energy and dropping the shoulders, dropping the weight, letting stuff go. And then those two poles that she was holding, same type of thing happened. There was a buildup of energy, a release, and then they disappeared into the ground.
So, what I saw, it kind of, I'm not going to reveal the images that I saw, but basically, the message that I was getting was kind of try to reflect on a time in your life when you were maybe younger, more innocent, when simple joys were more prevalent, and those that the whole mindset of you during that time in your life, I think, can bring peace, in a sense of release. So I think
Yeah.
that, yeah. I also saw a mushroom, like the kind of mushroom that would grow up, on your grass overnight during certain weather, and basically, life from death is kind of the essence of that, I think. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I just realize that there is a rebirth happening, and I think that's what the message was there. I saw another beach ball for some reason, and the primary color in it though is yellow, and so I think, regaining your sense of strength, your sense of power through all this, I think is a message there, and not to take things too serious. Take it a little bit lighter. And I also saw it was just like a squirrel walking up and looking at me like I was a game camera or something. And the squirrel's like looking at me. And so, what do squirrels do? They run around and they play all day. That's what they do. They chase each other around trees. They stare at you. They run away. They're think of them as ADD, but I think, fun. When I look at squirrels, I see fun. And so, again, I think the message is try to remember the lightness and just kind of revel in that. So I can take the rebirth, and I'm by the beach right now. Cool. Very cool. Now, if a squirrel runs up to you on the beach, that's even better. So that's what I got.
All right. And who did you say was next, Brandon?
I'm Kells Garrick.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
I invite Kells into the quantum room, and I see big energy, Kells. I don't know if you're a tall person, but your energy is very tall. Very tall. You're substantially taller than I am in the quantum room. So we found something it's a part of you. It many of the things that we work on are things that we need to remove to release back to their own energy. But what this feels like, Kels, is not a mirror image of you, but like a kind of a split of you that's still attached. So you've got your normal energy in front that I'm looking at face to face. And right behind that, but attached to it, is another version of you. And I'm not saying that when I say that it's a dark version, I don't mean a negative version. I mean just that the energy is a different color. The front energy is kind of a little bit of a soft white glow. The back energy is kind of a gray, grayish glow, identical. The energy, the presentation of it, it's like there's two of you, but there's one stuck behind. The part of you that's behind you is trying to get back in. And I hope I'm explaining this right. It's almost like how you have a right hand and a left hand. There's two different aspects of you that have somehow become disconnected. And we're going to work on getting those back together. Okay, so the back of you, Kels, looks like a kind of like a hood, full body hood that's open, and the front part of the grayer you is now getting that same type of hood, like a hoodie hood, but it's your whole body. And now your energy's merging. Neither is taking over, they're just going back to harmony, to the correct way. And I would imagine that all of us have the same type of energy going on, but yours somehow separated. And as soon as the merge was complete, I was able to take a big deep breath. I didn't realize I hadn't been breathing. I've been doing very, very shallow breathing. And now the dogs from the warrior group are with you. They're rubbing up against you, kind of like rubbing their sides and back on your leg and waist. And the horses are there too, the giraffe. Everybody is. If you ever watch documentaries with lions, when a lion comes back to the pride and it goes through and it just starts rubbing its head and its shoulders on the other lions, saying hi to them. That's kind of what's going on with you and all the animals right now. And I think that they're doing that, and you're doing it as well, to complete the reconnection. And now I see your one energy again, and I can see that your energy has placed tendrils into the ground. Even though we're in space, it's still into the ground, and you're grounding yourself, and your energy is replenishing. Picture you had a plant with no dirt on the roots, but you took that plant with the exposed roots and you put it into a mug of water, and the plant just inhaled that water, just drank that water in immediately. That's kind of what you're doing with energy right now. You're pulling it up into you, filling everything up, getting everything recharged. All right, Brandon, I'm back.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
That was different.
Yeah. Okay. I should have been writing this stuff down. I didn't see that much, but I did feel a little more energy this time. It was like a warm energy. And I was in the beginning, I wasn't getting a lot at all in the beginning. I finally just ended up in my little quantum, over the bay, and what was coming through was just a lot of really golden spiritual light, holy spiritual light, warm golden light. And I saw a gray whale, and I took that as like a grounding, connected to the earth and to the energies of everything that's going on right now. Oh God, there was other stuff too.
I really felt a lot of grounding.
Having the same problem you always have, where you can't remember. But God, there was another thing that was kind of poignant. I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember what it was, but basically it was that same thing with all this new energy coming in, and replenishing, and it was good stuff. It felt like, oh, I know what it was. It was a tomato plant. Right around the time you were describing something like where there was a lot of energy flowing through and opening, and I can't remember what you were seeing, but I was seeing like a tomato plant, like, you stick those suckers in the, when you've got a good soil and plenty of sunlight, and they just grow like crazy. And so I kind of took that as like you're in a period where like things are just going to flow, lots of growth. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, Kels, I'm curious. I see that you're talking about kilograms. I think it's kilograms, KGS. Where are you? What country are you in? If you don't mind sharing. I think I've used up everything I had, Brandon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. It seems like we had some good productive sessions tonight, and yeah, like we've said in the past, if you notice shifts taking place, or whether it be physical or emotional, or just please feel free to reach out to us and share via our websites, either tysonsgift.com or the Slipstream Shaman. Is it Slipstream or the Slipstream? Sorry, Slipstreamshaman.com. And let us know. We'd love to hear from you. New Zealand.
Thanks, Kels.
That's right. She said that early on. And also, you know,
Oh,
if you,
there was New Zealand. I'm sorry, you're right.
and or you know, if you feel like you'd like to come on the show, we can arrange for that too. So depending on what ends up coming from it, if you feel excited, you want to talk about it, we'd, you know, love to have you on. Or you can just describe it and we can just talk about it on the show with your permission.
Yeah. Either way.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for being here. We really appreciate all the support, and you know, we love doing this, and hope that everybody got a lot out of the show, whether it be for your healing or for the group healing, or just watching other people get their healing. That energetically, we're all connected, and so I know we're all benefiting from all of this, regardless.
Yeah. And I don't know how the rest of you did with this, but for me, this hour flew by, absolutely flew by. I'm kind of shocked that an hour's already gone. It was extremely fast. You know, time's relative. And so, yeah, it went by really fast. I hope that's a good thing.
All right. Yeah, it went by quickly for me too. So we will be on, let's see, was it the 9th? I believe it was. 2 weeks from today will be the 9th. Yep, September 9th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be back here doing the usual, whatever discussions come up, and we'll be doing more healing. So I hope you'll tune in at that point.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the great comments and the interaction. It was a wonderful night. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time on the Slipstream Gift on the Sacred Spiral Network. Thanks for being here, everybody.